Happy New Year! It doesn't make a sound.
They don't whistle. Welcome to the 8th beer of Christmas.
It is the first day of January 2022, and this is our salute to Yoda, the Master Jedi.
Yoda, Yoda.
The beer we selected today for Yoda, and I actually picked this one before Lisa picked her beer for Boba Fett, because they're sort of a related beer. Today we are drinking Backwoods Bastard. It's from Founders Brewing in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It is a wee heavy, just like Dirty Bastard was, except instead of, I think it was 8.5% alcohol for Dirty Bastard, this one comes in at 11.2% ABV.
2 days in a row with a heavy beer. Okay. Tracy, since you picked this one, tell us why.
I will be happy to. It's the picture and the name, Backwoods Bastard, and the looks like a little old guy who lives in the hill country somewhere. Not the Texas hill country, more like the Kentucky type hill country. In our first meeting with Yoda, he's on Dagobah, and Luke lands there. He's looking for this Master Jedi named Yoda, and he finds this little weird old creature thing living in the swamp. And he's thinking, surely this is not the Master Jedi. He's thinking it's just some backwoods bastard. And he's trying to ignore the guy.
Sure.
So that's why I picked this one. And I didn't check the ABV on this beer when I bought it. It is aged in bourbon barrels. But it's a super powerful beer. So much like finding the weird little creature in the woods, this weird little 4-pack with a crazy old guy with an axe over his shoulder. And there you go. So,
yep.
Yoda.
Yoda.
Lisa, tell us about your favorite memory of Yoda.
Actually, it is the one you mentioned where we meet him initially in the swamp on Dagobah, and he's kind of toying with Luke a little bit. It was kind of humorous, added a little levity to the show.
Right? Right.
How about you?
So the scene in Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, when we first meet Yoda and all of Luke's trials and tribulations with Yoda, that is a favorite memory. But I think my absolute favorite memory of Yoda is in Episode 2 when he fights Count Dooku. And at this point, he's not as old as he is when we first meet him, because, Episode 2 was chronologically before Episode 5. Yoda's much younger at that time. But he's still pretty old, and he is bouncing all over the place. He's got his lightsaber out. He's jumping off the walls. He's fighting Count Dooku. That was kind of like, holy cow, best lightsaber fight scene I had seen up to that point. There have been better ones since then.
Okay.
But up to that point, that was the single best lightsaber fight I had seen.
Excellent.
I felt like.
Okay.
So that's my favorite Yoda scene. I'm pretty sure you have seen all of the Star Wars properties with Yoda in them.
Maybe.
I think between the animated series and the movies. Any thoughts on what's next for Yoda?
Well, it depends on where we are in the timeline, obviously.
Sure, obviously.
We could learn some more as we go kind of traveling the timeline with the different series that kind of come out. But, somewhere in there he becomes a Force ghost and he continues to mentor others through that.
Right.
But other than that, I don't know. How about you?
I don't know either. I think to get more Yoda stories without him being a Force ghost, which is still different than Space Ghost, we've got to go back in the timeline further. We've got to go back, I think, to maybe a younger Yoda. Find out a little. No one knows where Yoda's from. That is never touched upon. We've got Yoda, we've got Yaddle, who was introduced in Episode 1 or Episode 2, who's of the same species as Yoda is, and then we've got Grogu now.
Right.
So those are the only three who've ever shown up, as far as I know, in Star Wars, unless it was in some novel that I haven't read. So I think we're going to have to go back, and that might be interesting to see, how did Yoda get to become Yoda?
Yeah. Absolutely. What do you think of the beer?
It's fantastic. So, wee heavy, it's got that kind of smoky, peaty flavor to it that even the Dirty Bastard had a little bit of that, but this is even richer, I would say, in flavor. It's got a really strong toffee flavor to it, sort of a roasted coffee and toffee. A friend of mine gave me a box of toffee for Christmas as just a...
Oh, yeah, that's still hidden.
that I asked Lisa to hide from me because I kept putting whole giant pieces in my mouth and finally had to say, please take this away.
I forgot. I know where it is, though.
Okay, good. Because I love toffee, and so this has to me, a really strong toffee flavor. A little bit of that smoky, peaty flavor also. Really rich, really good.
It's very good. Yeah. It is. I think I like this one better than the Dirty Bastard.
Okay.
I can't tell you the differences, but I think the finish on it's definitely smoother.
I think so. And of course, it's got that bourbon flavor to it, being aged in bourbon barrels. And it's got a little bit of that in the aroma too. So this is really good. Definitely a sipping beer. This is not a...
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is not a chugging beer. So
right, yeah.
Pretty thick, pretty rich, pretty heavy, but very good.
Probably already had more than my sitting worth.
That is it for our salute to Yoda. Join us back tomorrow night, January 2nd, for the 9th beer of Christmas when we do a salute to...
The Mandalorian, Din Djarin.
So, leave us a comment below. Which beer did you pick for your salute to Yoda?
Or what was your favorite Yoda memory? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.